into it real quick. So this is a new car. So let's go to it. Hey, what's up, everybody? So hopefully I have the clip of me talking about this new car. And I didn't want to introduce it like this, but give me a second. There we go. Whatever. Okay. Oh, I don't know why that's just blinking. Oh, so I didn't want to introduce it like this, but yeah, we got a new car. We got rid of the Versa. Hopefully I have clips of me explaining the process and what happened, and I don't think you guys are gonna see that last video I had recorded about it, which was the fuel pump on it. But oh well, from here on out, we have a bunch of 240 videos. I mean, look at this. I'm trying to not show the other car right now, but we're done with the 240 with the Versa. We're done with anything related to Versa, but we're almost done with the sound editing. Just need a little bit more right there, and we're good. But let's hope that it turns on now. Wow, that's something's not good. It's been sitting for a minute, so yeah, it looks like engine mounts are out. Anyways, well, this is warming up. I'm not gonna take it out or anything, but while this is running, I'm gonna do some B-rolls of the new car. March or end of February right now, right? So last month actually, like on the 24th, 23rd, something like that. It was like almost a month ago. I'm heading to work, and the car, the Versa, like it freaking shuts down, right? And I knew I had to like replace the fuel pump. I've been meaning to replace the fuel pump, but I actually had it, you know. I did the maintenance that weekend, that one weekend, and I didn't replace the fuel pump because I was like, you know what, whatever, it's gonna take a little bit of time. I'm just gonna, you know, I'll just do it next weekend. It's gonna take way too much time. I got a lot of stuff to do, so I'll just do it some next week. Yeah, worst decision ever, because the first day I went back that week for work, so it was a Tuesday, right? And I'm heading to work, and then freaking Mountain House, Altamont Pass, you know, there's hella traffic, so I decided to take the side street, because Waze, this is what I've been using for maps lately. Waze tells me to go through the streets, and I do. On Mountain House Road, I believe it's called. So I exit there, and the Versa just doesn't feel right, and it's not feeling right when I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna take the streets. So I'm in the inside lane, so I gotta go 3 lanes over to exit, and it starts feeling bad right there. And I'm like, shit, I hope it doesn't die. I hope it doesn't die, because there's traffic and I don't want to be stuck in the middle one. I don't want to be one of those people that holds up traffic even though there's already traffic. And so I merge all the way to the right. I prepare to exit. As I'm on the freaking on-ramp, the Versa dies. And I'm like, fuck. And I think, whatever, I'm low on gas, so I'm like, it's probably not hitting, and with the incline. And so I go to start it and nothing. And then it gives like a crank once, but that's it. It doesn't want to keep on going. And my freaking dash lights up like a Christmas tree. My fingers are all green. I'm not going anywhere. So I'm holding up traffic, I'm waving off people, it's raining, so it's like, fuck, man. It's the worst scenario you could ever possibly think of. So I'm waving people off, and finally, CHP pulls over, and he's like, and comes up and asks me if I'm okay, and like, yeah, I'm okay. Car just died. I did the maintenance, but now I don't know what's wrong with it. And so he's like, okay, this tow truck, and I tell him, it's like, I've been trying to start it. I already called I already called AAA. And he's like, okay, so this tow truck's gonna push you out of the off ramp, and just double check with your tow to make sure that he knows where you're at now, because he is gonna tell them, but just don't make sure. And I do that, and as I'm doing that, as I'm on the phone with AAA, I get my scanner out and I plug it in, and it says it's lean. One of the fixes is the fuel pump, and I'm like shitting myself, because I'm like, I just literally just fixed you. I just literally just fixed you. Or wait, no, it's saying there's a misfire. That one was the misfire. So it's saying there's a misfire. So I'm like, damn it, I should have done everything. And well, I thought it was what did I fix? I didn't fix anything, actually. So I had just done the regular service. So then I'm like, okay, whatever. So I call off work. I can't do anything. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna order this, and this. And I get home, I get towed home, and I don't do nothing, right? And I just leave it. So I skip forward a whole week, and I have fuel pump, and I have coil packs, and because I was like, okay, that's gonna fix it. And as I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna do the fuel pump. I'm just gonna do the coil packs. And I open up the coil. I get through the coils, and I tell my dad, it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna check on the spark plugs, especially that number 2, because that's cylinder number 2 is the one that was giving me code, and it's the hardest one to get because it's literally underneath the intake manifold. So I go through them, and guess what? Cylinder number 2 had a misfire, because the spark plug was broken. Thanks, Autolite. I couldn't wait for NGK, so I went with Autolite, and guess what? 3 months later, I had a broken spark plug. So I'm okay, cool. Go down the street to get to my store, to my local store, and luckily they have NGKs, pre-gapped, so I get them. Put everything back together that night. I check it. I freaking drive like 30 miles, like almost close to getting to work and coming back. And then the next day I go to work. I'm like, cool, it's good. It's driving good. Well, guess what? Time to go home. So I'm driving as normal, and in the Altamont Pass again, it starts to feel iffy. And I'm like, man, please don't let this motherfucker die. Please, God, don't let this car die right now. And I hit traffic because there's a bunch. At that time, we have floods everywhere, and all the side roads were closed. So it was literally just one side road and the freeway. And I'm like, okay, so I'm on the side road. I'm like half a mile out from the freeway, and I start feeling the car bog. And I'm like, man, don't let this die. Don't let this die. Keep on going. And just my luck, as soon as I hit like the last little place where there's like a little shoulder where you could pull off, the car doesn't want to start no more. Like it dies and it doesn't want to start. So I pulled off to the side. I'm like right there, like checking to see what the hell's going on. And it tells me there's a code for the freaking fuel pump. And I'm like hitting myself, like, what the hell? I should have replaced that. And so I'm like, okay, there's nothing I can do. I literally just have to replace the fuel pump. So I call my, I'm like, I'm trying to get on the phone with AAA. There's no service, so I have to walk a mile, like half a mile towards the freeway to be able to get a little bit of service to call for a tow truck. And I call and I tell them, like, okay, when I go back, I'm gonna try to start the car. So if it's not, if I get it running, it's not gonna be there. So just let the tow operator, not that. Hey, look for him in where the trucks are, the actual truck drivers are. So don't expect him to be where the initial call is from, because it's half a mile down the road. And sure enough, I walk back. Traffic is gone at that time, like from the side street. The freeway is still kind of packed, but it's way better. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try it because there's literally nobody there. It's me, and I don't want my phone or my flashlight, because luckily I had my work flashlight, my headband flashlight with me. So I'm like, okay, if either of these freaking die on me, I'm gonna be literally stranded until the tow operator gets here. So I'm like, I'm gonna try to get to the tow where the truck stop is, the rest area is, so at least I'm not alone. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, not that I'm scared or anything. I want to be able to be seen and, at least have some type of like entertainment in front of me. So I go back and I get on the car and I clear the codes and I start it. And the car is running rough. But I make it to the truck stop. And once I'm in the truck stop, I called the AAA again. I let them know. And I'm there for like 30 minutes until the guy finds me. He takes me home. He brings me home. And the next week, or like the next day, or that weekend actually, I was like, okay, let me do the fuel pump. Yeah. I'm with the car fully freaking disassembled in the rear. And I struggled to get the lock ring off the fuel pump in the Versa. And when I finally do, I bring out my fuel pump. Guess what? It's the wrong fuel pump. It's the wrong fuel pump that I bought. So I immediately hop on freaking eBay, double check, triple check that I'm freaking buying the correct one, and overnight it. Well, guess what? Overnight means I get it till Friday. And that's what I did. I couldn't do anything else, so I was 2 weeks out of a car.